Hey everyone, welcome to BrickVault. Today we are reviewing a relatively small LEGO minifigure collection. In front of us we have all of the LEGO Doctor Who minifigs ever made. You can also see a couple of brick-built Daleks as well, and what would be the point in having this collection if we didn't also include the brick-built TARDIS. We're going to be going through every single fig, when they came out, what sets they came out in, and how much they are currently worth on the collector's market. So let's jump right in. The bulk of the figs here actually came out in just one set. It was a LEGO Ideas set from 2015, the Doctor Who set. And the first fig we are looking at here is the 11th Doctor. Played by the actor Matt Smith, he was the 11th Doctor for a few years, starting in 2010. And he's known for dressing a little bit strange. You can definitely see that here on the minifig. He's got some finely detailed red and white stripes on the collared shirt, a bow tie, and a tweed jacket with a relatively busy pattern on the outside. I think the best part about this fig is the fact that they used the old Anakin hairpiece that really sort of matches up with the style of this character, I think. And then by far the most unique thing about him, and that really sort of dates him even though he's not particularly old, is the fact that he comes with an alternate fez piece, but also two expressions, so you can't reasonably use it. This is something that wouldn't happen by today's standards, and it's just kind of interesting to see what I think the LEGO group would consider a mistake nowadays to have happened not so long ago. The original set he appeared in is now retired, and if you wanted to get him brand new on Bricklink, he is roughly $6. And then next up is Clara Oswald, played by Jenna Coleman. She's the most detailed figure of this collection. She's got dual molded legs and printing on the sides of the legs that match up incredibly well with the front. The expressions for her face were unique just to her during this release, but have later been used in several Star Wars figs, and by far my favorite bit of detailing for her is the gold print for the necklace. It's so small and subtle, but it's just a fun, accurate little detail to include. This was the first year they were doing dual molded legs, so it's awesome that we got it for her plaid skirt, and frankly it looks so good that she's got it on her legs and the other two doctors in this set don't have it. It almost feels like an oversight, or perhaps the designers just weren't allowed to have 3 sets of exclusive dual molded legs for characters in just one set. That was probably more accurate. She's around $4 brand new on Bricklink, and this set also included the 12th Doctor, played by Peter Capaldi. The special features for this guy is, of course, he's got exclusive printing for both his torso and legs. His face belongs to him and one other version of him that you'll see in a second. The Widow's Peak hairpiece is also the first time it ever appeared, was actually on this guy for this set, and you'll notice now that he is holding the sonic screwdriver. It's an excellently molded special piece that came out in only this set and the Dimensions one. And though later in the series featuring the 12th Doctor, the screwdriver does change, it had not happened yet as of the making of this set, and both of these doctors shared the same piece. Plus with the spare you actually get 2 of them, so you can give each of the doctors their own screwdriver. Anyways, the details for this guy are pretty rock solid. He is roughly $4 or $5 brand new on Bricklink. And then the last official minifigure from this set is by far one of the creepiest and simplest creations from the Doctor Who universe. This is the Weeping Angel. The printing on that slope piece that makes up the gown looks so good, and I love how it's actually a slope piece and there's no groin area or anything, because the print from the torso matches right along the edge of the line there. Often to keep printing pretty consistent in the factory, I think they usually have a little bit of a buffer space, but here it is so close and it looks really, really good when you have the torso attached to the top. The alternate expression is pretty much perfect. It's such a creepy concept for an evil thing, an entity or a series of entities, and often when it comes to collectability, popularity is the defining factor so much of the time. When it comes to final price, you'll probably be paying a little bit over $10 on average to get one of the Weeping Angels. And then this set has a Dalek as well. I like that it counts as a minifigure, or at least it's found in the minifigure section of Bricklink, and it's honestly a pretty good looking brick built version of a Dalek. Not exactly minifigs, well, yeah, they're kind of tall. I suppose it depends on which version of a Dalek, I guess, that you're wanting to compare, but the details definitely work work at this size. They made a little print for this guy on the top of the dish, and to get the exact pieces necessary to build him, it's roughly $4 or $5. Still in the same year, another version of the 12th Doctor came out in the Dimensions level pack, and I think this style of dress for him is maybe a little bit more common. He had a bunch of different outfits, they all did, but this feels a little bit better with the darker, more muted blue. The red highlights are a nice little add-on. I like that they match up with the leg printing. Feel like for a Dimensions set, they may not have had to include that detail. Something about the figs that came out in this for this theme, they always felt slightly cheaper, but not really. It's the same Widow's Peak, it's the same facial expression, just exclusive printing for his body. He's around $4 or $5, and technically this doesn't count as a figure for the collection, but you can build K9. He's one of the primary builds for this level pack, so he basically counts. He's nowhere near minifig scale, but the build for him is pretty fun. He's got a little K9 print too, which is a nice little detail to add on there. And I know nobody asked, but I'm pretty sure this is K9 Mark IV. And then in 2016, a Dimensions fun pack with Cyberman and Dalek was also released. This is a pretty modern version of one of the Cybermen. There's about 1 billion different iterations of this guy, but the mold for the head is pretty much perfect. And the detailing for the body is rock solid. Obviously, it'd be cool if we got arm printing, but that's a little bit extra for this type of theme, and I'm just happy enough to have gotten an exclusively done head mold. This figure too is sold on Bricklink for around $5, so I imagine it'd be pretty expensive if you wanted to build a huge Cyberman army. The Dalek, I think, goes for roughly the same amount, and this build is clearly not as good as the other Dalek that came from the original set, but this is also a fun pack where it should be built into 1 or 2 other things on top of it. There we have it, all 6 of the minifigures for Doctor Who, not including the 1 Dalek minifig and the 1 non-Dalek minifig and K9. I suppose in terms of individual entities there are 9, and it's a little bit difficult to say what I would want them to add to the collection if they were to continue any Doctor Who IP stuff for LEGO. In order to appease some of the fans, they probably would have added the 4th and 10th Doctor as well. And then I talked to one of my friends who's a very big Doctor Who fan, and after getting a list of 20 plus characters to add to this collection, I realized there is no appeasing hardcore Doctor Who fans. So if I was to get a figure attached to this collection, it would obviously be the Skin Lady. I don't know her name, but this is the lady. They should make this a figure somehow. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you enjoy our content, you can always like or subscribe. Let me know what types of LEGO minifigure collection videos you would like to see in the future, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault. Skin Lady.